Listen, it's one of the oldest questions in faith. Does God still speak to us today? Or are we just left guessing, hoping, and wishing we could hear something? Anything. A clear direction for our lives. If you've ever felt that deep, quiet yearning for a personal sign, for a little proof God still speaks, then this is for you. Before we dive in, if you've ever wanted to understand how God still speaks today, hit subscribe and stay close, because these messages might be exactly what you've been praying for. I want to share with you something simple, something real, something from my own heart about how I've learned to recognize His voice. It's not about lightning bolts or booming words from the sky. It's much more gentle, more profound, and honestly much closer than we often think. It's a quiet language of the soul. For so long, I felt like I was searching for God's voice in all the wrong places. I'd look for signs in every difficult situation, expecting a loud, dramatic intervention. But God's communication, I found, is often like a soft, persistent whisper. It's less about the noise and more about the signal, the clear, unmistakable feeling that guides you toward what is good and true. The truth is, He is speaking. He hasn't stopped. We just have to learn to tune out the world's noise and tune into the subtle rhythm of His presence. So, how do you know if that quiet thought, that strong feeling, that sudden clear realization is actually Him? I want to share 3 signs you're hearing His voice. These are the signs that have proven true in my own life, the simple, consistent ways that I feel Him guiding me. The first sign is the unmistakable inner peace. Think about a time you had a huge decision to make. Maybe you were agonizing over a job change, a move to a new city, or whether to finally forgive someone who hurt you deeply. You tried to logic your way through it, making pros and cons lists, feeling stressed and anxious. But then, you made a choice, and the minute you settled on it, a blanket of calm just washed over you. Not excitement, not ego, just a deep, settled peace. The decision might still be hard, and the path ahead might be challenging, but deep down, your soul feels quiet. That peace that surpasses all understanding is a hallmark of God's voice. The world can offer temporary thrills, but only God offers a peace that remains even in the storm. If a thought or direction brings genuine, unshakable calm to your heart, even when your circumstances are chaotic, that's a very strong indicator you are walking in His counsel. The second sign is the gentle, loving conviction. This is the one that often requires the most humility. Sometimes God speaks to us not to praise us, but to redirect us. It's not the angry, shaming voice of accusation that leaves you feeling worthless. That's not Him. His conviction is different. It's a loving, firm realization in your heart that something you are doing, saying, or thinking is not serving your highest self or hurting someone else. It's the moment you know, without a doubt, that you need to make an apology, to stop a bad habit, or to finally step away from a destructive relationship. I remember a time when I was so focused on being right in an argument with a friend that I was willing to sacrifice the whole relationship just to prove my point. The conversation was over, but I couldn't sleep. Instead of anger, I felt a gentle, painful tugging. It was like a little whisper saying, "What does it matter if you're right, if you lose your friend? Choose love." That wasn't my pride talking. That was His voice, pulling me back to what truly matters. And listen, that conviction always comes with an immediate path to redemption and change. It doesn't just point out the fault, it inspires the solution. This brings me to a brief story, a real moment when this clarity hit me. Years ago, I was facing a career choice. I had 2 offers. One was prestigious, high-paying, and looked amazing on paper, the kind of job everyone told me I should take. The other was for a small, struggling nonprofit that paid significantly less, but whose mission I believed in with every fiber of my being. My brain screamed, "Take the money, take the security." But every time I seriously considered the big corporate job, my stomach would knot up. I felt hollow. Then one quiet afternoon, sitting by myself, I just let go of all the noise. I didn't pray for a miracle. I just said, show me the next right step. And in that silence, it wasn't a voice I heard. It was a sudden, crystal clear knowing that rushed in. It felt like every cell in my body agreed with one simple truth. My purpose was not to climb a ladder, but to build a community. I accepted the nonprofit job the next day. The pay was low, but the joy, the purpose, and the fulfillment were immeasurable. That feeling, that unexpected, powerful clarity that goes against all worldly logic, that was the proof for me. The third sign is the sudden and consistent clarity. Sometimes, God speaks by giving you an insight that instantly clears up a complicated situation. Have you ever been stuck in a decision loop, going back and forth, unable to see the way forward? You read books, talk to friends, and nothing clicks. Then, out of nowhere, while driving, taking a shower, or just waking up, a thought drops into your mind that makes everything simple. It's often so obvious and straightforward that you wonder why you didn't think of it before. This isn't just a clever idea. It's an alignment of your thoughts, your heart, and your will. It often feels like you are simply recognizing a truth that was already there. When you talk about human decision-making, psychologists often refer to this as a form of intuitive insight, a non-linear cognitive process that bypasses logic and jumps straight to the solution. I believe that space of intuition, that quiet, sudden light, is a primary channel for God's guidance. It's where the divine meets the human mind. Listen again. If the clarity you receive is in line with love, hope, and the good of others, and it consistently stands up to a gentle, humble examination, trust it. Recognizing God's voice is a practice, not a one-time event. It's about cultivating the habit of silence, of listening more than we speak, and of trusting the signs He has already given us. Don't look for a spectacle. Look for the peace. Look for the loving redirection. Look for the simple, undeniable clarity that leads you into a life that feels more whole, more purposeful, and more joyful. I'm so grateful you took this time to just sit and reflect with me today. My prayer for you is that you start to recognize those quiet, strong whispers in your own life. Think back on moments where you felt a powerful peace or a sudden clarity about a difficult choice. That was Him. He's speaking. He loves you, and He's guiding you every single day. If this message resonated with you, please leave a comment below and tell me about a time you knew you were hearing God's voice. And as always, hit the like button and connect with us again soon for more faith-filled messages. Peace be with you.